What If Age of Ultron? Volume 11 focuses on different histories depending on who's affected by the ripples from Logan's time traveling. First, Janet dies, thus Hank pours his anger into developing Ultron into something to replace humanity, which does, eliminating everyone in only a few days. Years later, Hank is the only survivor, seemingly being left alive for the amusement of Ultron. But after he attacks Ultron, it's revealed Ultron has slowly been turning Hank into an android, using his human experiences to finally create the most superior of all Ultron. Next, Tony dies, giving Stane control over Stark Enterprises and Iron Man tech, killing most heroes in the Armor Wars. Years later, Logan and a new Ghost Rider ambush a shipment of Iron Man armor, but Logan is knocked out before he can grab it. They recruit Peter and Hulk and travel to the Savage Land to stop the armor factory, where Stane is using Trask's descendant to power the armor, and killing him or destroying the factory will mean everyone's death. Thus, Peter detaches the main armor mold, creating a distraction but dying in the explosion, and the remaining heroes gather at his grave to honor him. Next, Thor dies before defeating the Midgard Serpent, thus the monsters of Asgard invade Earth. The remaining heroes fight off a giant wave of frost giants before taking a large amount of weapons from Doom's castle and facing the Serpent themselves with a legion of Doombots. As they distract the Serpent, Natasha grabs for Thor's hammer, but it doesn't respond, but when she sacrifices herself to save the other heroes, Mjolnir deems her worthy, and she uses the power to defeat the Serpent and his forces. Next, Steve dies soon after defrosting, thus the nation loses its greatest symbol and becomes a ruin under martial law. The remaining heroes find Frank and offer to turn him into the new Captain America, which he at first refuses, but is soon convinced. They replicate the super soldier serum and launch the reborn hero on the world, where he becomes a new sign of hope and strength, leading the world into a golden age, and even launching an entire legion of Americorps soldiers. Frank eventually retires, his identity only known by a girl named Ava, who, bolstered by his legacy, also becomes part of the Corps. Finally, Hank is hit by a wave that completely erases the idea of Ultron from his mind. Meanwhile, the Ultrons from the first issue detect the tear in the multiverse causing the ripples, and uses it to invade the other universes covered in this volume. Time starts tearing itself apart across all the worlds, while the previously featured Logan, Avon, and Natasha band together to form a team under the Ultron-less world's Janet. However, the android Hank regains free will and tells the heroes to escape through the tear, telling them the worlds are collapsing and their only hope is to take his. Thus they head through the tear and smash the machine, keeping it open, leaving them in a world empty of Ultron, but also empty of life. These were all exciting. Issue 2 is my favorite, and I like that they're readable without having to know much about the event or major continuity. I wanted to like the ending and call it a perfect way to top things off, but it's anticlimactic and rushed, with the heroes just all of a sudden together and knowing each other. And I don't know what the four of them hope to accomplish on a completely lifeless planet, but the other issues are fine, so just read those, I guess, and issue 4 is better than the last time Frank became Captain America.